Hi and welcome to a video update from the Fire Brigade Union here at the TUC Congress 2015. We're joined by the General Secretary Matt Wrack to discuss a government consultation entitled Enabling Closer Working Between the Emergency Services, which has just been launched. Matt, this seems like a fundamental document. What is it and what does it mean for us in the fire service?
Well, it's a new consultation, Sam, that the government have issued on the 11th of September, consulting about how fire services should be run in the future, and particularly increasing the role of police and crime commissioners. So it's enabling police and crime commissioners to take over the governance function of the fire and rescue services. It's suggesting the abolition of local democratically elected councillors being on fire authorities. Where that doesn't happen, it's saying that the police and crime commissioner should have a seat on the fire authority. It's suggesting the possibility of a single chief fire officer governing police and fire. And it clearly suggests a huge threat to terms and conditions and pay, because police and fire would effectively become a single employer.
Surely this will fundamentally alter the independence of us in the fire and rescue service, and that's going to have wide-reaching consequences, isn't it?
I think it's a huge issue without any proper debate. The fire service has had a long tradition of being independent, neutral from the police, playing a different role. Just within the past 2 weeks, we've had firefighters attacked in Northern Ireland, very serious attacks on firefighters there. We've got a long history in Northern Ireland of being able to deal with how do you deliver an essential emergency service in a difficult political situation. We've had similar debates in the rest of the UK, and we've managed to do that so that firefighters can go into communities, engage with communities, do their job, but also for the safety of those firefighters themselves. So it's absolutely ludicrous, the idea that's been put forward to undermine that. That's by and large the position all across the world, by the way. It's not just in the UK. That sort of neutrality and independence is a position generally internationally. This proposal from the government undermines that. But I think for our members as well, there is this clear threat to pay conditions. Whether we would, in such circumstances, stay within the National Joint Council arrangements for pay, it would clearly open the door for further privatisation, a whole area of new attacks.
But Matt, the current government's arrangements, a lot of critics would say they've hardly been good in keeping the fire service safe, and we've seen a lot of job cuts. How would you answer the people that raise that point?
Well, I'm not here to defend fire and rescue authorities who've done nothing. I would be very critical of a lot of them myself. They've just passed on government cuts, implemented cuts to the service as required by the government. At least there is some democratic accountability. Those are local councillors by and large who can be challenged, can be confronted. We saw it most recently in a row between the Mayor of London and LFIPA, where LFIPA, the London Fire Authority, refused to try and to pass on cuts in the first instance, ended up being instructed by the Mayor. What this proposal now says is that because that fire authority caused some trouble, they should just be abolished. That's a way of just getting rid of any democratic opposition.
Okay, Matt, well, this consultation is going on until the 23rd of October. I suppose the key question is, what are we doing about it?
Well, as you say, it's a fairly new consultation. We're drawing up a response. We've raised the issue at the TUC this week with other unions who are involved in police or fire or ambulance services. That they're aware of the issue as well now. We'll be drafting a response, and we'll be contacting local fire authorities, local councillors, MPs to make submissions to say this is not an acceptable way to deal with the fire and rescue service.
Matt, thanks very much. Please keep up to date on our website, which is www.fbu.org.uk, or for fast updates, follow us on Twitter @FBU National. But once again, thanks very much, Matt.
Thanks, Tam.